Which hitters are ready to break out in 2023 and help you win in fantasy baseball? Let's take a look. Let's start with a young outfielder whose ADP is already climbing. It might be a steep price to pay for Corbin Carroll, but I don't care. I'm in on him. You've seen some young guys who broke out even unexpectedly last year, like a Michael Harris. Well, Corbin Carroll comes with a better pedigree. Now that the Dalton Varsho trade is gone through, Corbin Carroll is going to be a featured part of that lineup. He's going to be hitting to the top of the order. Look, this is a guy who's a former first-round pick. He's a guy who's got tremendous speed, bat skills, enough power. He did debut late last year, appeared in 32 games, hit 260, 4 home runs, 14 RBIs, and 2 stolen bases. A guy who has legit 2020 upside. He's a guy that you're going to have to pay up to find out, but I do think that he is worth it. Now let's get to a guy who could be a legitimate superstar. I'm actually kind of shocked to see that his ADP is as low as it is early on. He's down to 83 overall. For Wander Franco, a guy who was heralded as the next superstar, no, he's not going to hit 40, 50 home runs, but he could lead the league in batting for years to come. This is somebody who could definitely help you in batting average, score plenty of runs, hitting at the top of that Tampa Bay lineup, and he does have enough speed to help you in that category as well. Happens so often in baseball. It's this post-hype fade. This is a guy who debuted in the majors at age 20, acquitted himself really well, hit 288 as a rookie, and then last year, I think people disappointed because he got hurt. It's not like he struggled or busted. He should be fine heading into this season. What he did show was still his same level of impeccable plate discipline. As a 20 and then 21-year-old, a strikeout rate below 10%. That's almost unheard of. The bat control, the plate discipline, it's all there. Everything is in place. He just needs to stay healthy. This is a guy that is going to be able to at least get you in the teens, I would say, for home runs, and is going to help you in every other category. Wander Franco, such an elite talent. It's hard to imagine that he's not going in the top 50 of drafts, but this year he could definitely break through. Another possible post-hype breakout is Riley Green. No secret that both he and Spencer Torkelson both struggled big time last year. That's partly because they were on the Detroit Tigers, but there is something that you should know about the Tigers that does make a guy like Green more interesting. They actually adjusted the dimensions of Comerica Park. Definitely notorious for being more of a pitcher's ballpark, but it just so happens that they lowered the right field fence by 1.5 feet, and they brought in the center field wall. This could help a guy who's a left-handed batter. It's not going to make this all of a sudden become a bandbox or anything, but it will help. But also, and the Tigers even said this publicly, they're saying this is meant to help the psyche and the morale of these hitters. So maybe there's something to that, especially for these super young guys like Green. This is a guy who has immense talent. Like, he hit 253, he slashed 362. He definitely should improve, take a step forward. Underperformed based on his expected WOBA, that would be weighted on base average, especially at home. If we see some improvements in his home performance, if we see him take a step forward, if we see this whole Tigers offense at least click a little bit, we could see a big step forward for Green in terms of fantasy production. And then there's everybody's favorite welcome back Cotter character, Vinny Pasquantino. He debuted for the Royals last year, and Vinny showed that he was ready. Slashed 295, 383, and 450. Guy who's got a good amount of power, but he's not going to sell out for power, not just a pure power bat. Kind of reminds me of a young Joey Votto. Got a similar build, similar swing. And if you think about what happened for Votto way back when, in his second season, 297, 24 homers, 84 RBIs. Vinny does have 20 homer upside. Vinny could definitely hit 297, considering I just said he hit 295 last year as a rookie. He's going to collect base hits. He's going to have a decent amount of power. I think the RBIs will be good. He's a guy who definitely could make a leap because he's definitely set in that cleanup spot in the lineup. Another young slugger that a lot of people are predicting could break out this year is Gunnar Henderson. Made his debut late last year, 4 home runs, 18 RBIs, and 7 doubles. And you know, with these young players, those doubles could quickly turn into home runs. This is a guy who can play either third or shortstop. The only thing we really don't know is where he's going to play and how much he's going to play. The Orioles kind of in this weird in between, not really contender, not really rebuilding. They have the youth, they have this nucleus here that they're building of young talent. You figure Henderson's got the bat that he could stick, but it's not guaranteed that he'll be an everyday player if he does struggle. Played pretty well in the 34 games he played last year. You know he's got the pedigree, and this Orioles offense is definitely on the come up. He could be a big part of that. So if he gets hot, this whole team kind of starts to gel. It could be a pleasant surprise. And then my last hitter breakout is a player that I think a lot of people are going to just forget about and overlook. That is C.J. Abrams, now the Washington Nationals. He elite speed. I'm talking 80 grade speed. A lost year due to COVID. He's also battled some serious injuries. He really hardly has any experience under his belt. Forget major league experience. He hardly had any minor league experience when he debuted last year. Didn't do so well. So now he's with Washington. And look, I think this is a good thing for him because number one, the playing time is set. He will be an everyday player. He will get a chance to probably lead off, and he'll actually get more opportunities to run. Look, that's his calling card, is speed. This guy should be a 40, 50 stolen base threat. The Padres just didn't run that much. They were actually 4th lowest in stolen base attempts. I think he's going to get the green light. They're going to need to manufacture runs. Abrams is a guy who, if he's getting on base, really could contend for the lead in stolen bases. Those are some hitters who could break out in 2023. Don't forget pitchers. We got you covered with some pitcher breakouts and other fantasy baseball advice right here.